we're live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Live from the GME studio, it's Good Morning Entrepreneurs.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Good Morning Entrepreneurs.
Are you an entrepreneur who has felt like you were all alone on your business adventure? Well, you're in the right place.
You know, being an entrepreneur can be lonely and challenging at times, looking for people to bounce ideas off of and get feedback.
Welcome to Good Morning Entrepreneurs,
the show designed by entrepreneurs for entrepreneurs just like you.
Keep watching for your dose of entrepreneurial fun with the Roving Reporters and, of course, Kim and Carrie.
As we like to say around here, buckle up, Buttercup.
Good morning, entrepreneurs, and welcome to show number 73. I am joined today as my co-host, the icon herself, Kat Corchado. She is freaking fabulous in so many ways, but she is such an amazing human who has a heart for military and movement. How's that, Kat?
I love it. Yes. Very concise and to the point.
And if you're here for the first time, I am Kim White. I'm the founder of, I'm the fierce leader and founder of the My Sexy Business team and community. I'll get that right in a second. And we are excited to be here today with you. We hope you come in with, I'm going to say, some note-taking materials, Kat. That's what I'm going to say. There's a lot in this show today, and we hope you walk away with something that is not only living proof, but something you can go and implement in your business today. So, welcome.
Well, the conversation could get a little spicy. Just a little warning there. Just trying to put it out there just in case. So we have a lot to cover today. Let's go to one of my favorites. Actually, they're all my favorite, but one of my favorites, Entrepreneur Land. Let's go.
And as always, we're going to get spicy right out of the gate. So today's theme, Entrepreneur Land, is targeting the right thing. Kat, you've heard me for a very long time say this. There is a marketing term that I absolutely hate, and I want to just come out of the gate and get it over with my little soapbox of when you're targeting someone that is wrong. So I hear people all the time targeting the right person, targeting the right audience, that to me, I don't want somebody putting a bullseye on my back and then shooting me with a bow and arrow. I'm just going to say that out of the gate. I think when we don't value people enough to market well, we are cutting corners we don't need to cut by saying things like that. So, Kat, I'm going to throw it to you because I'm trying to be really good today and not too spicy.
Well, I kind of think of it, Kim, like commercials. So for those of you that play games on your phone, I play a game on my phone. And arbitrarily, some commercial comes up that has nothing to do with my interests, my likes, or anything. But I feel like I'm being held hostage to this commercial. And so I just kind of feel like it's like that. You know, when people come at you and say, hey, I think you might like this. And I'm like, no, I don't like this at all.
So I guess we should be clear. I love that analogy, Kat, because I think we should target locations. That's okay. I think we can target, the right kind of things. But I think whenever you use the marketing jargon, it's targeting people. We just don't agree with that. So we're just gonna say that, and then we're gonna pull that through the theme. So it might get spicy again later, y'all.
Well, can I just say, Kim, that also that when whatever it is you're doing, when you come from here, and and people can feel and read and see your message because it's coming from here, then you don't have to target anybody. I'm just putting it out there. Ooh, we're spicy already. Ooh, it's hot.
Well said, Kat.
So I think we should move on and go to my second favorite is GME Chronicles.
Thank you, Carrie and Kim. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the GME Chronicles. My name is Jill Olish, and we have some updates for you today on August 9th, 2024. The GME Chronicles is the celebration of moving the needle in our businesses. And we want to share these numbers out loud to show what is possible after starting something for the first time. The total of 13 events last week included Kat's Pilates classes, the vision board party with myself, and My Sexy Business hosted Sticky Note Time panel and party, as well as the Sticky Note Time guided weekend, and hosted 4 mastermind sessions. We want to welcome those coming into the new rounds of Simple Publishing Mastermind and Showtime Mastermind. Yvonne and Kat went live with the new Salty Sisters live stream. Donna went live with the Big Show and Tell, and My Sexy Business went live with show number 72 of GME. 5 new podcast episodes dropped last week. Go give them a listen. Stories with a Sunday Roast, Sisters in Service, Late Bloomer Living, Mucked Up My Self-Care, and 5 and 15 Interviews Leadership Series. On Clubhouse, Adam and Denise hosted the My Sexy Business Not Creepy Room on Wednesday. Last week's number of 20 brings our grand total to 5,539 amazing things done over a couple of years and collectively as a community. We look forward to more updates coming up next week. And if you are ready to join in on the fun around here, you can save the date and find us at the Groundwork Brigade Open House in September on the 4th and 5th. Back to you in the GME studio.
Ooh, them numbers are hot too. Just saying.
I agree, Kat. Let's cheers to the numbers. I think it's incredible to see because everyone who is part of the mastermind community, they are doing incredible things and they are doing things that are moving the needle, but it's moving those numbers higher and higher, Kat, because I am in awe every time I see it.
I know. I love to see the numbers go up like that. But I also want to just talk to the person who may be on the fence about being a part of our community that, you know, when I first joined this community, I knew nothing about nothing. In fact, Kim can attest that I didn't know why I was here. What am I doing here? I have nothing. And through this community, I've learned a lot of things. I've learned how to do things. And that's what I love is that everyone's willing to jump in and help and speak in a language that I understand. So I can go, oh, got it. So I just want to thank you and the community, Kim, because I think you guys are awesome.
Thank you, Kat. But that includes you because you help others learn what you've learned. And I think that's the beauty of like all these numbers is it represents, we learn something, we share it. We learn something else,
yes.
we share it. So love it. Love it.
I do too.
Well, speaking of someone who has learned to rock the military minute, I want to head over to our section with Kat Corshado herself, making connections and building confidence. Tell me what you would do if you saw another veteran in that place of losing confidence or lacking confidence. What would you do to pull them up?
I would have a conversation with them. I would find out where they came from, where they are now, and finding out how I can help if they want my help. Who can I connect you to? That's what we need sometimes, or our connections to those things that we're struggling with. And once you start to get those connections, you start to feel kind of good. And then you start to, you start your business. You're like, oh, and then you get a name, and then you get an LLC, and then you do all the things. And you're like, ooh, I'm an entrepreneur. But I think not assuming that they're going through the same thing that I went through, because transition looks different on everybody. We all struggle with transition, but there's different elements of the transition process. And so finding out where they are, finding out how I can help if they want my help, and taking it from there, because I can't make the assumption that I know what they're going through, because maybe I don't. Maybe they're suffering from PTSD and they need more than my help. Maybe they just need someone to talk to. Maybe they need more, and maybe I can help in both capacities. I love that segment. I do. I can't help it.
It's one of my favorites, Kat, because your heart is so tender towards other military, veterans, other ones that are transitioning out of the military. And you said something you've said it more than once, but I will say it stuck with me the first time you said it, which is military people make great entrepreneurs because they know how to figure things out. And I think I never thought until you said that, I never realized that was actually something coming out of the military someone should consider, is you've just done all of these things. You know how to figure things out. That's what being an entrepreneur to me is all about. That's the adventure part.
Yes.
It is not a cut and dry thing. It is literally, we're figuring out business. We're figuring out our own businesses. We're figuring out things. And for someone out of the military coming and questioning whether they're capable or not, they just did the things that they need to be able to figure out this adventure too.
But I think we sometimes don't realize that. You know what I mean? We don't realize those soft skills until we put them into play and go, oh yeah, okay. I get it. You may not know the thing, but when someone walks you through it and, you learn the system, because that's what we do, so once there's a system, I understand. Doesn't mean it's perfect. It's probably really messy, but I know that I can understand the system. And every time I do the system again and again and again, it gets a little bit easier. So I'll put that out there.
Well, I think that we need to talk about, for just 1 second, we need to talk about that your podcast, Sisters in Service Podcast, is the sponsor of the Military Minute segment, and that you just rocked what we call Groundwork Brigade. You just rocked that with me, because we were talking about campaigns being military style and all that, and you just rocked that out loud when we were in Groundwork. So I want to say thank you out loud for that too, Kat, because you're using the soft skills, as you call them, but I think they're very impressive. You're using all your skills to rock being an entrepreneur. So thank you for sharing what you know and your qualities. Honestly, those are character qualities to me. And I appreciate you.
Thank you so much. I love you guys. I love this community. Okay, that's the end of our show, folks. No, I'm joking. So I think we should go to our first sponsor for Groundwork Brigade Mastermind.
This show is sponsored by Groundwork Brigade Mastermind. Are you an entrepreneur who is focused on making an impact,
but you haven't figured out how to make an income doing it?
We spent years trying to figure out how to do both.
And we realized the business adventure is not a one-size-fits-all. I'm Kim White. I'm the founder and fierce leader of the My Sexy Business team.
And I'm Kerry Zarb, Aussie bucket of swearing sunshine.
And she's a brilliant entrepreneur, by the way.
We both understand how it feels to believe we are the only ones who can't figure things out.
So we decided to join forces so we could get in the trenches with you.
We lead a very special mastermind group so you can be confident in strategically implementing
the right things in the right order so that you too can get the best possible results.
We cover a variety of topics based on what you need,
including building a business that you own and doesn't own you.
We even address things like social media strategy and simple tech solutions.
If you would like to meet other entrepreneurs who are living proof of what is possible,
come and join us at Groundwork Brigade Mastermind Open House.
I love that commercial. I'm just going to say.
I love
I
that
really do.
I love that we're rocking the business world. That's what I love, Kat, because I think that commercial's proof of it.
Well, I just want to say that, you know, one of the things that I love and still love is the fact that I can come to Groundwork Brigade and ask any question. There's no such thing as a silly question. And even if you asked it once, one of the things that you say, Kim, all the time is ask until you're clear. And I love that because you can ask it and ask it again. And then on the fourth time, the light bulb goes off. You go, oh, that's right. So if you're one of those people that have questions, you know, I want to remind you to come to our next open house for Groundwork Brigade Mastermind. It's September 4th and 5th.
It's very exciting, Kat. Now I want to tell you where that ask until you're clear came from. Because I was in a group a long, long time ago that every time you would ask a question, they would say, well, go figure it out. And I would look around thinking, I can't be the only one that has the question. And I think that's why we're here. Like, that's what I kept thinking in my head. And finally, I realized it just wasn't the right group for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't imagine telling someone just to go figure it out. We definitely are a community that helps each other. So anyway,
yes,
didn't know if you knew the history of where that phrase
I did not, but I've been in groups like that too, Kim, where, you know, like, okay, get in Canva. Remember when I first came and I hated Canva and they're like, there you go for it. And you're just like, I don't know what to do. But you taught me a lot about Canva. So I appreciate you.
Thank you, Kat.
You're so
well.
welcome.
Let's head over to one of our other masterminders who's rocking the world, and it's Denise Millay in helping entrepreneurs found online.
Denise Millay is the findability queen, search marketing consultant, technology simplifier, host of the virtual scavenger hunt, published author, summit leader, and GME roving reporter.
The way that a search engine knows what's on the internet is it has little programs that are called bots, short for robot, that are really autonomous programs that, you know, no one's saying start and finish. They just keep running, right? And they read pages on the internet, and then they find a link on the page and they go to the next page, and then they go to the next page, and then go to the next page. And as they're doing that, they follow a process. They call it an algorithm, but they follow a process of steps to understand what they're reading. So certain things that it reads, it puts into the catalog, kind of like in a library, if you remember the old card catalogs in a library, and it would have the title and it would have the author and, you know, some other reference information, description of the book. Well, it's the same thing for a page. So it's pulling that information and putting it in its catalog as it's going through and reading each page. And it continually does that all over the public spaces on the internet.
It's mind-blowing how much information is out there.
Could you imagine if we had to have a card catalog for every page on the internet? It would circle the globe, I'm sure.
Maybe several times.
Maybe. I wouldn't want to keep those cards up to date.
No, I wouldn't want to be looking through them trying to find what I wanted. I can't even imagine how big that would be, Kat.
I can't either. And I can say finally, Denise Millay, I have your book. I finally got it. Now I just have to read it. But I do have it.
Let me just point to the fact, Kat, that somebody who did already implement it besides me is Adam Rothenberg, and he's already had over 1 million visitors to his website just in the last 18 months. So that is a thanks to Denise Millay and all Adam's hard work, but I definitely want to continue to share that because it's a big deal. So if you haven't gotten Denise's book, or you have been toying with understanding SEO kind of things, definitely go get Denise's book, Be Findable.
And I love the way she breaks it down. It's in language that I understand.
Me too, Kat.
So I love it. I've kind of flipped through her book, but I'm gonna sit down and actually ingest some of that information.
I love it. Well, congratulations, Kat.
Well, thank you. I feel pretty special. So speaking of special, here's another roving reporter, Donna Bender, with our surprise and delight marketing.
Donna Bender is a master givologist, branding product strategist, corporate marketing trainer, published author, host of The Big Show and Tell, summit leader, and GME roving reporter.
Thanks, Kim. This is Donna Bender coming to you today as a roving reporter for Good Morning Entrepreneurs. Today's surprise and delight marketing segment is why I continually stress appreciating and showing appreciation to your clients on wacky holidays. And the reason is there are so many holidays throughout the year where you can show your appreciation, let your clients know how much you value their relationship and their business, so you don't get lost in the plethora of the end of the year holiday gifts. And it's a wonderful way to build upon your relationship. So that said, in the month of August, there is Tell a Joke Day. So here is mine. Well, there was a new frog, and he wanted to introduce himself at the zoo. So he went over to the elephant, and he said, "Hi, I'm the wide-mouthed frog. What's your name?" And the elephant said, "My name is Ellie." And then the wide-mouthed frog said, "See you later." And then the wide-mouthed frog went over to the giraffe, and he said, "Hey, I'm the wide-mouthed frog." And the giraffe said, "What's your name?" And the giraffe said, "My name is Jerry." And the wide-mouthed frog said, "Oh, well, see you later." And then the wide-mouthed frog went over to see the crocodile, and he said, "Hey, I'm the wide-mouthed frog." And the crocodile said, "You're a wide-mouthed frog?" And the wide-mouthed frog said, "Yes." And the crocodile said, "Well, I eat wide-mouthed frogs." And the wide-mouthed frog said, "Oh, you do?" Back to you at the GME studio.
Donna. Oh my goodness.
Funny. She is funny.
She is.
I want to say quickly that Donna is not only entertaining, she is very educating when it comes to all of the ways to stand out from the competition, for like appreciating your clients, all the things, Kat. I just want to throw that in there because it's really important for us to not get lost in the crowd at the end of the year holidays. So that is why she does all these wacky holidays for us. I just want to say it out loud.
And I'm sure she's put some of that in her book. Donna's book is The Art of Giveology, Giving Your Way to Success in Business, which, Donna, by the way, is in my basket as we speak. So just letting you know.
I love it. Well, Donna definitely has some wacky holidays in there, but she has a lot of information. And I want to point to something else. I'm going to go a little farther in this today and say, if you haven't gone to Donna's YouTube channel, it's at Donna Bender Giving. I would go over there because she's dropped another show and tell, and it's called The Big Show and Tell, y'all, because it gets big results. If you haven't been over there and checked it out, she's hysterical. She actually interviews the most interesting. She has very interesting interviews. She has all kind of wacky holiday things. She just has a wealth of wisdom to share.
Yes,
So
I agree.
Head over and check it out. So, speaking of someone else who has a wealth of wisdom, let's head over to the next segment, Conversations in Storytelling for Entrepreneurs with our very own Linda Bonney.
Linda Bonney is a master storyteller, conversationalist, creative writer, podcast host and producer, published author, summit leader, and GME roving reporter.
Thanks, GME team. In entrepreneurship, connecting with your audience and being someone that people can relate to is more important than ever. One of the most effective ways to achieve this is through storytelling. Yep, by sharing your story, you can help others relate to your journey, values, and vision. And I think that builds a strong foundation as an entrepreneur. A great way to do this is to be authentic. If you share your genuine experiences, both the highs and the lows, people appreciate the honesty and are more likely to relate to you and your true story than to a polished or unrealistic narrative. These personal stories about overcoming obstacles or achieving milestones make your narrative relatable and engaging. This also helps you to focus on common experiences. If you can identify some challenges that other entrepreneurs face or that your audience faces, you can address these in your story. That helps show that you understand their world and can empathise with struggles that they might be going through. So remember, storytelling is not just about promoting yourself as an entrepreneur, it's also about building meaningful relationships. By sharing your journey, you create a bridge that allows others to relate to you on a deeper level. Back to you in the GME studio.
Great tips, I will just say. And Linda Bonney, so Kat, don't tell anybody, okay, we're going to dish a little bit. I just want to say, shh. Linda actually has the 4th book collection coming out soon and the 2nd season of her podcast, Stories with the Sunday Roast. The collection of stories comes from the interviews. It is the most amazing thing to witness what she is doing because I'm going to use Adam's word as always, she parlays the interviews from the podcast into stories that are wrapped with her stories as well, into collections of books. I am always in awe of Linda's writing skills and her speaking skills. She's just extremely talented, Kat.
Oh, I totally agree. I just want to be her when I grow up. I'm just going to say, if that's allowed.
I'll definitely head over to Stories with a Sunday Roast podcast and check it out so that we can learn to be like Linda.
Or try. I think it's impossible, but we can try. So let's go to our next sponsor, the Money Barista Club.
Do you find your finances confusing or overwhelming? Well, guess what? You're not alone. I'm Kerry Zarb and I am the Money Barista. It's time to take away those sleepless nights, all the stress and pressure we feel from those flippin' digits. Finances can be hard, and this is why your seat at the virtual cafe is reserved in the Money Barista Club. Our meetups are held on the 3rd Wednesday of each month at 6 p.m. Central Time, and I'm inviting you to join us to ask questions, gain access to resources so that you can get in control of your business finances. This is where coffee meets money. Are you ready? What are you waiting for? It's time for you to be in the driver's seat of your finances. Head over to kerryzarb.com/club to join me in the virtual cafe and start controlling the beans in your business today.
We love our Kerry. Yes, we love our Kerry Zarb. She is one of the co-founders of Good Morning Entrepreneurs. I want to interject that really quickly and mention that the next club meeting for the Money Barista Club is coming up August the 21st at 6 p.m. Central. So mark your calendars. We'll see you there, Kerry. So you are tuning into Good Morning Entrepreneurs. We are so glad you are with us today for show number 73. And today's theme is targeting the right thing.
And speaking of a question, I have the question of the week. Kim, would you like to know what it is?
I would like to know, Kat.
How do I target the right people?
Ooh, somebody's going to make me get spicy again. So I don't think we should target people. That's what I'm going to say first. I do not think we should target people. I think when you use that term, it is so scary to me to think about somebody chasing me down, hunting me down, versus giving something to attract me. I want someone to attract me to them because they're a solution I'm looking for, not because they're chasing me and cornering me and like shooting me with a bow and arrow.
Exactly. I kind of equate it with, you know what you want when you see it. It's kind of like shopping. You need a pair of red shoes and you're going through shopping. All of a sudden, one pair just goes, and you stop. Yeah. And you already know what they look like in your head. You just have to find them. And I think that when we're targeted like that it's not attractive. It's not something that I want.
Yeah.
So it doesn't feel good. I'm just going to say.
I don't think it does either, Kat. And I love the reference to the red shoes because I think imagine red shoes like coming at you with a bow and arrow, or the red shoes are sitting somewhere and you know that those are the ones. Like, I just feel like those are two different experiences. And in this community, we're serious about this. We want to attract the right people so that they want to come and try on those red shoes and do the things. So love that analogy, Kat.
Well, thank you. Well, I love all of this community, everyone in this community, but one person in particular that I love dearly is our next roving reporter, who is Yvonne Marchese, and entrepreneurship later in life.
Yvonne Marchese is the president of the Age Agitators Club, creator of the Aging Playfully Play Shop, podcast host, published author, branding photographer, summit leader, and GME roving reporter.
Thanks, Kim and Carrie. This is Yvonne Marchese coming to you as a roving reporter for Good Morning Entrepreneurs. I'm your resident age agitator, here to talk about later in life entrepreneurship. And I want to talk about the power of acting as if, of using your mind to act as if something is already accomplished, as if you are a successful business owner. What does a successful business owner act like? If you start to act as if you are a successful business owner, what might happen? What might you do differently than you've done in the past? Did you know that Colonel Sanders of Kentucky Fried Chicken fame was not always Colonel Sanders? He used to just be plain old Harlan Sanders until the governor of Kentucky, because of the success of his one single roadside chicken stand, gave him the honorary title of Kentucky Colonel. What ended up happening from there is that the colonel started dressing the part of a colonel in his white suit, as we know him today, and he started to franchise his recipe around the nation, and that is what created his massive success later in life when he was 66 years old. Something to think about. Back to you in the studio.
I love that act as if. And I must be a great actress because I've been acting as if for a long time.
I love it. Yeah, well, you are an icon after all.
But I understand what she's saying. You know, no one wants to talk to an entrepreneur and they're like, oh, you know, my business sucks and this is bad and this is bad. And they're like, I'm not going over there. Mm-hmm. But I think when you act as if, it puts you on this path of I am an entrepreneur and acting as an entrepreneur, doing entrepreneurial things for your business. So I totally get where she's coming from.
I love it. And I just want to like be a little spicy again for a minute, Kat, and draw a line though, because it's not fake it till you make it. I think there's a kind of a movement of people who fake things and tell lies by saying something that's not true about their business. I think when you act as if, you are actually opening you up to be the person you want to be, to be that success. So I do think there's a difference, and I think Yvonne is on point. She is a salty sister after all.
Oh, yes, she is. And if you don't know, Yvonne has a podcast, The Late Bloomer Living. She just dropped her season 4 finale titled, I Wish I Knew Then What I Know Now. So if you don't know Yvonne, you should, and you need to go listen to her podcast.
It's very good. It's very good. Well, the other half of the Salty Sisters might be on this stage with me, just saying.
What?
We need to go check out all her wisdom that keeps us from being, I think, crippled up from sitting behind these screens all day long as an entrepreneur. Let's head over to the segment on health and wellness for entrepreneurs with Kat Corchado. Kat Corchado is a proud military veteran, health and wellness professional, founder of Small Space Pilates, movement specialist for injury, illness, and cancer recovery, podcast host, published author, and GME roving reporter.
Thanks, Kim and Carrie. Hi, everybody. We are going to do a stretch similar to one we did before. We did the one arm when you were bringing the arm up here and you would step forward. But sometimes when you're in a rush or you have very limited time, I'm going to show you the same stretch with both arms. So you can do this right in a door jamb, taking your arms about shoulder height, placing your elbow right, you can even be a little bit lower, right at the height of the shoulder. And now just step forward and feel the stretch. Breathe here. And then release. You can do this as many times as you feel you need it. And of course, you can feel the stretch all across here. And please make sure that these stretches are appropriate for you by talking with your physician and or your physical therapist. So let me know how that works for you. All right, till next time. Back to you, Kim and Carrie.
Oh my goodness, Kat Corchado, you and all of your stretches have changed my life. And if everyone could only see Adam in the green room, he's always doing stretches whenever you're on, and I love it. I wish we've got to get video of him doing the stretches in the green room because he's so stinking cute. But
I find it interesting that my dog always finds a way to get into the video.
We love Brady being in the
I'm not really here. I'm just walking around.
He's the star of the show, really, Kat. That's
right. Yes, he is.
Well, Kat, you believe, and I don't want to speak for you, but we say this all the time because it's true, because you say this all the time, which is everyone has the right to feel good in their body. It doesn't matter if we're recovering from an injury, recovering from illness, recovering even from cancer. I know you have special certifications, and I never would have thought about those things, Kat, if it wasn't for hanging out with you and learning that we can recover from some things we've been told we can't. Like we can get our physical strengthened, and we can add to our stamina and things. And you are incredible that you are so patient and do all the things you do for everyone in the community who needs to get started on this. So I want to say thank you for all you've done to help me. And I also want to remind everybody that you actually share a complimentary week of the community called Small Space Pilates, which Kat founded to help all of us. And even though a lot of us are entrepreneurs in that community because we don't treat ourselves right all the time. Whenever you're on this adventure, you get busy and you don't do the right things sometimes. There's other people in there too. You don't have to be an entrepreneur to be in there.
Mm-hmm.
But Kat, you are so incredible at what you do for all of us in there. So thank you. And if you're watching, come and take Kat's gift. Like don't let it pass you by, because you can get started.
Well, thank you for that, Kim. I also want to say that, we have fun in the class. We giggle, we laugh. There's a no perfection policy that applies to me also. So you'll see me complaining when I'm doing a certain workout because I hate it. And I'm like, oh, I don't like this. So if you just want to sit and hear me whine, then that's okay too.
I've never had my booty kicked by somebody who had the greatest laugh ever before. So just so everybody knows.
Well, thank you for that, Kim. That was very sweet. So I think that we should go to our next roving reporter. And this woman is just blowing up in a good way. And it's Jill Olish from Mama Entrepreneurs.
Jill Olish is the ambassador of moms, founder and leader of the Mama Outspoken Village, published author, podcast host, executive team leader of My Sexy Business, host of the Vision Board Party, associate producer, and GME roving reporter.
Thanks, Carrie and Kim. I wanted to talk about not taking things personally. As a team member of the My Sexy Business team, with a lot of work that I've put into some of the things, I took feedback very personally because I took a lot of pride in the work that I did. But it took me some time to realize that the work that I did was to help someone else pick us as a business. So taking that into my own work, feedback, I try not to take personally because it's not about me. It's about how I can best reach you listening and how I can best meet your needs and solve your problems. So if I can't communicate that right, I need to know that I need to change that. While I might have some pride in my work, I can always take pride in the up levels and should not be offended that it's not working for the first time that I tried it. Especially being that I'm a first-time entrepreneur. I don't really know all of the things that I need to yet. So stepping back and taking pride in what you did and knowing that you're going to up level, and those up levels will be just as amazing as your first attempt at something, I urge you to start practicing that so that you can start using your feedback as a tool in your business. Back to you in the GME studio.
I love what Jill is doing. She's uniting moms everywhere. I'm just going to say that because I think that being a new mom or just being a mom of a toddler, or maybe you have multiple children, can feel lonely. I'm going to say, even though, everyone who has a child is probably going to go through that, but you feel like you're just by yourself. And Jill has a community now called the Mama Outspoken Community. And the next gathering is Saturday, August 24th at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. So I don't know what the parameters are, but reach out to Jill if you'd like to and find out what the community is about. It might be a good fit for you.
And we affectionately call it the village, the Mama Outspoken Village. So I think that should be noted because it's based on the premise of it takes mamas coming together to get through mamahood. Like, I know she calls it mama and I call it mother, and you know what I mean? We have all these names, but truly it's for all the different people who need that camaraderie in that community. So I personally like village better, Kat.
I hear you. Well, it takes a village for entrepreneurs too. I mean, I feel like you've raised all of us, Kim.
I love it, Kat. Well, let's head over to the next sponsor of the show, which I'm going to just put a little disclaimer on here. The show has changed. It's the podcast, BBG, Buckets and Boomgates. It's changed a little bit, but we don't want to change the commercial because we love it so much. But the podcast is still going strong. So we want to head over there.
Once upon a time, there was a princess from Oklahoma living a traveling life in Texas.
When along comes an Aussie bucket of swearing sunshine.
When these two girls from opposite ends of the globe met in February 2021,
even the universe did not know what it was in for.
Determined to solve world problems for entrepreneurs, we still to this day learn just how similar we are.
We have found our passions were too strong not to unite and become the partners in change that we are.
What is a bucket and a boomgate?
So a bucket is basically a category or a way to change how you're looking at something big.
And a boomgate is a way to protect ourselves. Sometimes we need a boomgate to protect ourselves from ourselves.
We have lots of experience of our lifetimes of business, and we want to share that with you.
We look forward to bringing you weekly episodes of the Buckets and Boomgates podcast.
I do like that commercial. I'm just going to say.
I know that, right? We love it, and we're going to change it, we promise, but not yet. Just not yet. We miss Carrie. Carrie has passed the baton to Jill Olish to co-host with me. And, you know, one of the things that I think has been lovely is we just finished up the team series, like talking about how to start your own team and how to delegate and how to do all that. But we also just recorded an episode that'll come out in the next couple of days with our special guest, Denise Millay. And we got down and dirty, is what I'm going to call it, Kat, asking questions about website stuff and SEO kind of things. So you don't want to miss that episode because of, like, she gave in the episodes. Let me just say that. It's going to be a 2-part series. It was that much.
Nice.
So,
wow.
Yeah. So anyway, just want to make sure everybody's updated on that. And we'll head over to our interview king himself, who took Denise Millay's, advice and is over 1 million visitors to his current website and over 100,000 visitors a month, y'all. Pay attention. So we're going to head over to Entrepreneurs in Entertainment with our very own Adam Rothenberg.
Adam Rothenberg is the interview king, media personality, creator of the Call Me Adam entertainment platform, published author, podcast host, red carpet correspondent, associate producer, and GME roving reporter.
Thanks, Kim and Carrie. It's Adam, and I'm back in the closet for yet another edition of Behind the Curtain. And today, I want to share another clip from my most recent interview with alt-pop singer-songwriter Rachel Sage. During our time together, we also discussed staying true to who you are. And as we say here in the My Sexy Business entrepreneurial community, you won't be everyone's flavor, which Rachel has discovered throughout her career.
It's so interesting because through the years, I've often been told my music doesn't sound like how I look, or I don't dress like how my music sounds. And this was something that even in the late 90s, early 2000s, when there were some major labels circling and, a couple of them wanted to sign me and they would make suggestions about, sounding more like this to match my vibe on stage or vice versa. It was always such a head scratcher for me. And what I love is that the longer I've been in this business and in this indie music and specifically the folk and roots communities, that great luxury of kind of having people know what you do and who you are the longer you do it. And so now I don't feel like I face as much of that. I feel like I've kind of earned my stripes, no pun intended, of just like being able to walk into any situation, be exactly who I am, be confident in my own skin, and play like a devastating folk ballad and not have people be like, she's too glittery for me to take this story seriously, which has been a thing in past decades. So it was confusing for me early on because I was just trying to be myself and, it felt very authentic to me, but there were a lot of kind of industry gatekeepers and people giving like unprompted advice of like, maybe tone it down a little bit, Rachel. And it was like my drag was too much for them. and you know, it kind of pissed me off, but it also was humbling because what I heard was, okay, maybe that person is uncomfortable with being confronted by how very myself I am. And I think, you know, these are interesting dynamics and things to learn and to even write about in my work. So, you know.
After watching this clip, I hope you'll remember that you won't be everyone's flavor, and that's okay. So that is today's Behind the Curtain story. It's back to you in the GME studio.
I
love
that.
Me too, Kat. And I will tell you, Adam is 1000% our flavor. I am going to say that. He does so much around here. I can't help but brag on him and say, if you haven't listened to the full interview with Rachel Sage, or if you haven't listened to the other over 2,000 interviews he's done, you need to head over to his entertainment platform called Call Me Adam. And it's at callmeadam.com in case anybody needs to know that part. Head over there and check it out because Adam is really making waves in the entertainment world.
That was a great interview. I think I need to go over there and listen to it a little bit more because it's really brave for someone, in spite of everyone telling you need to be this, you need to change this, and to stand strong because this is who you are and still be successful. So,
speaking of somebody extra, Kat, I'm just going to say.
Yeah, who would that be, Kim?
Wait.
I had no clue for a minute. And speaking of clues and maybe even definitions of words that you may hear but may not have the same meaning that you think they do, we're going to head over to Princess Speak.
Oh my goodness. My crown is not in hand's reach where it's supposed to be, and I am laughing. What a mess. I always have my crooked crown on, and I don't. Kat,
and I had mine. Oh my, I was ready, Kim. I was ready.
So, let's do an Adam style, a little dishing behind the scenes. We have 7 seconds to get our crowns on for Princess Speak every week. And so Kat rocked it and I dropped the ball completely because mine is across the room and there's no way 7 seconds would have ever happened. I would have won a gold medal at the Olympics had I got my crown. So we're going to pretend
that would have been impressive. That would have been impressive. I'm just going to say.
It would have been, but it would have never happened, Kat. Let's just be honest. So definitely want to bring Adam up for this conversation, but this week's Princess Speak vocab phrase is hit and run. And it's based on the theme from today, which is that targeting the right thing, not targeting people. Because Kat, you and I had a conversation before the show started about what it means to basically hit and run. We drop off some information or we say, hey, come to this, and then we never go back to check in with somebody or take care of somebody. I feel like that is a really good match today, and you have some other phrases that go with this as well. But speak to hit and run, Kat, and welcome Adam to the stage.
Hi, Adam. Welcome back.
Thank you. Hello. Good morning, everybody.
The infamous Adam Rothenberg, everybody. I think that for me, as a new entrepreneur, someone who's brand new, we think it's, we just do it once and then we go. And then we wonder why no one has reached out to us. And I kind of think of, I've talked about whatever your passion is and putting that out and people seeing you being a person, not perfect, but also knowing your heart, where like if someone were to look me up, they'd know, hey, she's a movement specialist and she loves this. they know exactly what that means. And I've been to, scrolling on Instagram or whatever, and I'll say, oh, that's cool. And then you go to the site and there's nothing there. And I'm thinking, okay, wait, you got me here. I took the time to get here. Now, where are you at? So I think that when you just do it once and then run away, it's like, when your little brother would hit you and then run, and you can't catch him or her. So that's my thought on it.
This is a great thought, Kat. Adam, what say you about hit and run?
Well, I definitely know what it's like to hit your older brother and run away. I was pretty good at that growing up, probably.
One of those kids, Adam.
maybe once in a while. I will say that I do agree with Kat when you are scrolling through social media and you see something that you like and then you want to find out more information. You go to the website and maybe the website has just the title of the event on there and you want to find out more information, but you can't because there's nowhere to click and it's literally just a landing page. Mm-hmm. That makes it very difficult to know whether you want to attend the event, how you want to be part of it, what's going on. So that to me is also an example of a hit and run.
And I think it's very likely, too, that if I don't find out any information that first time, I'm probably not going to go back.
Yeah,
agreed.
That's true. That's true of me, too, I will say. I usually don't return whenever I go somewhere. And I guess we should, but we don't. Let's just be honest.
It's true.
Well, Kim, you have a famous story about that when you were, I forgot where you were living, but you wanted to do some volunteer work and you went to the organization's website to try to find out where to volunteer for the event. And there was no information. There was no contact information.
There was nothing. We actually had, my husband and I had decided to donate some money and we had we wanted to go and volunteer and it just blew my mind that we couldn't find it. We couldn't find where to volunteer. We couldn't find anything. And it was very discouraging. It was very discouraging. And I have a feeling it was very discouraging for them because they didn't have maybe the attendance they would really hope for. Mm-hmm. And knowing that just makes you want to be very aware of not hitting and run. Don't put something out there and then run away and not handle it. I think, I always talk about if I pull up in my little red Hellcat, I want you to go on an adventure with me. I feel like this falls into the context too of just dropping them off at the corner and saying, well, gotta go. You don't want to be like that in your business because it's not good business. So sometimes slowing down and being aware of the places that you're hitting, but then you're running off can change your business. We wonder why we don't get good results. Well, maybe you're not targeting the right thing. Maybe you're not actually targeting the relationship that you need to have with a human. Mm-hmm. So very important.
I like that phrase, Kim. I'm just going to say.
Well, we want to speak to you watching and tell you thank you from the bottom of our hearts to coming to Good Morning Entrepreneurs and being with us every week. We are grateful you're here. We're grateful that we can hopefully be living proof of things. So please don't hit and run. Make sure we can actually connect with you and all the people wanting to find you can. And target the right thing, y'all. Make sure you're going after the locations and be where the people you want to connect with are. So till next week, love y'all.
Join us next Friday at 7 a.m. Central.
This is the team signing off for Good Morning Entrepreneurs.